everyone, welcome to our next lost items little video. We have another bonsai tree. We had a pretty one on the last page. This one looks a little bit more like a conventional tree, I suppose. I'm going to use 3 different greens, I think, for the tree just to make it more fun. So I'm going to start with 52, which is our sap green. I'm going to do the sort of lower bits of the tree where I think it might be darker. I mean, Johanna's drawn here some dots for the darker areas, I think, to help us as well. So I'm going to use those as a guidance, which is good. And I'm trying to fade my green up a little bit, so it's going to be quite dark under here. But as I go up here, I shall do a little less layers like that, and just a little bit all around, and then we'll move into our next green, which is the number 50. Oops, I can't get it out though. This is the willow green, and I'm going to go over what I've done just to cover any little bits that I may have missed, and then start to colour up. Gosh, I think it's going to be a hot day. It's so sunny already. I guess it's 11 in the morning, so I guess we're getting to the sunniest bit. But I've got to stay in for delivery, so I'm unlikely to go out, especially as I've got a lot of plans for indoor stuff today, so which is all good. I know some people are like, if it's sunny, you've got to go out. It's like, I don't see it that way. I'm going to have to start walking more soon, though. In the holidays, my son's going to have to get used to walking a lot more once he starts college. This is 53, which is the green. 53, lime green. Sorry, I was reading the wrong name, and I was thinking it's not that. There we go. So he's going to have quite a walk to the bus stop and that sort of thing. So he needs to get a lot fitter. I'm going to go over everything. This is going to be my last colour. So I said to him I could walk with him every morning after breakfast. And it's quite nice to go early. Firstly, I find once I sit down and start work, I don't stop until it's time to cook in the evening. I stop for lunch, but I have a really quick lunch and then I get straight back to it. When the children are here, I have a bit of a longer lunch because I chat to them, which is nice. But normally very quick and back to it, which is fine. But it means that I don't sort of make time in my day to go out. Whereas, so if I walk early, then it's done, you know. So unless I've got an appointment later in the day or something like that, I like getting it done early. Right, our tree trunk. Going to use a couple of browns. I think we'll start with the 76. This is the Van Dyke brown, and I'm going to do this sort of edges. And the sort of bottom of the branches. These little thin branches are just going to be quite a solid colour of this, partly because I've gone over them in green, so I need to try and cover that up, which I'm not succeeding very well at, but also it's a bit fiddly to get 2 colours in there, so I just do the best I can. Yeah, my son will have a walk, they both will actually have probably a walk into town to the bus stop, which is 20 minutes, it's not far, but when you're not used to it, it can feel quite tricky. I'm going to use 73. I think we used that on the last one. Burnt sienna, maybe we didn't. And fill in the gaps with this and sort of go over all of it really, and then it'll blend in better. It's quite an orangey colour, isn't it? I'm hoping it makes our trunk look a bit more rounded, but I'm not too happy with that. I'm going to go back to our 76 excuse me, and just put a bit more in here. Just bring in a bit more colour. There we go. And now we have our pot. It's slightly trickier because of our piece of paper stuck on it. Let's do the little piece of paper first. There's a bit of sticky tape on it, oops, which I am going to do in a yellow. Yeah, number 1, this is just yellow. Really pale. Because sticky tape doesn't really have a colour. Then the note itself, I've got to plan this. Pot colour, note colour. What colours haven't we used lately? We haven't used pinks, purples very much in the last couple of videos. So let's think about that. Let's use this one. This is the lavender. Let's do the note in the lavender. I think we've already got a lavender note somewhere, but that's likely to happen, isn't it? So we'll do the note in lavender. And we'll do our pot in a mixture of violet and lavender. Okay, so this is the violet, and it's going here, and I just fade it a bit, and we're going to bring in the lavender in a bit. I think this is a bit of a mistake, because where the label is, it's going to be the same colour. That was a mistake, never mind. I think I'll be able to sort it. So I'm doing a little bit less as we're coming in. Now back to our lavender. Like that. There, it looks, I've tried to make it look darker, and I think that's worked. My last little thing is I would like a little bit of shadow under the brim of the pot. It's just a tiny detail, but it will just make me feel happy if I put it in. So I'm actually going to use the black, and it needs to be really sharp. Number 9 is our black. There we go. And under here, now I'm going to layer it up more on the edge where it's darker anyway. There we go. It's just a tiny touch, but for me, it makes me happy. So there it is, our little tiny tree. I think it's just the cutest little tree, so thank you to Johanna for our little tree. And that is me for today. So thank you so much for watching. Have a lovely, lovely day and happy colouring.